Hello there and welcome to Tidelines Book Festival's Winter Warmer. My name is Michael Malone and I'm one of the board members of this book festival based in North Ayrshire. For a few years now we've had poetry readings around this time of year, close to Burns Night, to celebrate modern Scottish poetry. Obviously, because of COVID restrictions, we're unable to do this live, so we thought, just like our main festival in September, we'd go online. And this amazing collection of videos is the result. So, sit back, relax, pin back your lugs, and enjoy.
My name is Elizabeth Carey. It's a pleasure to be with you in these difficult times. I'd like to share this poem with you, entitled Each New Day. A yawn, a stretch, curtains open wide. Rain, hail or sleet, out of bed we must slide. Work, more work. Do we ever question why? Can't we just play? Our spirits sigh. As children, we take for granted each day, but as we grow older, we reflect and say, I wish I had done this instead of that. We're critical of ourselves, that's a fact. As humans, do we ever reach that goal on life's journey to find peace in our soul? To be content in each and every way, to live in the present with each new day. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow's a mystery. Today is a gift, the rest is history. Live life to the full, be happy, be glad. Each day is given for us not to be sad. Look around, marvel at the gifts that abound. The senses are heightened with every sound. This is our playground, we should care for it well. As each new day dawns, our spirits should swell. Do we feel that way often, or just when we wish? Life should be happy and filled with bliss. Too often we allow things to pull us down, to put lines on our faces and make us frown. On the bright side of life, that's where we should be. Laughter, fun, contentment, our spirits free. Each new day brings an adventure so rare. It is a gift that we all should share.
High tides are expected at Ardrossan today. A surge. Wellies may be required. Ferries unable to return Goatfell climbers. Saturday day trippers. Selkies visiting family may find landing on the beach difficult. Leaving an extra set of clothes with the harbour master is advisable. Electrocution from wave-damaged wires is a clear and present danger to all trapeze artists, balloonists, trains. Prestwick Seagulls, please check your journey is absolutely necessary. Chip shops will remain closed. To get to the far side of the river, to the sharp slope side, the side with trees, we hopscotch slabs scoured when the river bubbles up, leap gaps big enough to catch a child. Long stem spearwort traps our toes, slows our rush to the gap where a long forgotten storm pulled a tree as neat as any dentist. Below, in the deepest run of the cart, an inky smudge alerts where the riverbed opens, big enough to trap a coach and horses. Our mothers tell of the night, 100 years before, when the river boiled, ran faster than a child fleeing, the Andersons ordering their coachman across the slabs, wheels slipping, all pulled screaming into hell. On the other side of the river, on the sharp slope side, we tugged down the rope tied to a high branch, the branch that shades our mother's warning. Dare each other to wrap her legs around the knot, swing out over the vortex, to glimpse a trapped coach and horses.
Hi there, I'm Morag Smith and I'm going to read you a couple of poems. First one is called Swim. My mother is scared of cats, dogs, the mix of electricity and moisture in a new twin tub, the possibility that I might get into trouble or worse, get above myself. She never ventures from the shallows as she shivers in full makeup and cone-cupped floral print bathing costume. Her siren call tells me to jump right in, that she'll hold me up, but the pale dimpled flesh of her thighs and the quivering gloss of her coral blush smile under merciless fluorescent light say otherwise. I can still smell the chlorine when I finally learn to let my body drift, trust the density of water, and tell myself that there were so many things my mother could not do without a sea change. Her lesson is complete at 4 a.m, when the bedroom ceiling ripples, blood roars around my skull, and her undulating arms push back night's oceans. Moonlight streams from the flutter kick of her soft white feet. Fingertips support me as I sleep. Thanks. And since lockdown started, I've been writing a lot of poems to the moon. So I guess there are worse things to do. And it's quite a long sequence, so I'm going to just read you a couple of poems from the sequence. A lunar history. Luna gravida. Rhythms of blood, heel and fist strumming. Slippered feet shuffle over luminous gravel. A fox feeds her cubs while you feed on me. Lycanthropic nails grow from puffed fingers. Wine is poison, my bite ravenous. Skin shines with change. This body that was mine is held by the butter yellow near side, until the past is shadow, the future a glass of air. I drink a toast, you shift and start to turn. Waning gibbous. Once I was a sleepless milk cow, waiting for you to roll through darkness, attach, cleave and shed red ticks made in an old man's almanac. Now my face no longer drains to white. I smile in welcome at winter's cold hunter. See 2020, your lustrous dust. We are wolves in snow. This is our time.
Hello, my name is Morven. I'm going to read you 3 poems this evening. or this morning or this afternoon or whenever you're watching this. The first one is called Jam. I want jam, but humus has taken over the fridge. Serried ranks of beige and round plastic tubs block any carefully considered moves to find the opened jam jar. But who needs raspberry anyway? Too summery, too light. Ankle socks, short sleeves, sunlit cotton shirts giggle on a line. The jar of sweet, dense, dark-flavoured black currant. It's time. There it is on the cupboard shelf. Bought 2 weeks and 3 days ago, confidently biding its time. Black currant has the winter night about it, cloaked in deep purple blackish velvet, fresh from a rush ride through a white-out blizzard, weathered thick leather reins grasped tightly in gauntlets. A more serious companion to buttered toast than light, hippie raspberry. This morning, blackcurrant jam, I'm yours. So that's jam. And the next one I'm going to do is a COVID dream, number 19 dream. We dream deeply, walking pebble beaches, stones of bluish grey, striped honey beige, red tenement sandstone, granite sparkle, twist and turn beneath our feet. Owls swoop from the night as we walk across soft mossed hills to a dawn red-hued sky. We dream of kisses, cheek caresses, gentle and tingling, and then hard and full of want. Boats roll on tumbling waves, sailing to anywhere, as we look for others to haul on board. We lick white foaming beer from lips, arms resting on sticky wooden bar tops, our ears full of talk, our eyes full of each other. We dream, we wake. No dreams can come true here. There can be no miracles. Cradled screens fulfill our ersatz lives. The hours busy us, the day zooms with calls, Skypering with chat. How long till our stones, our hills, the owls, the sailing boats become mythical? I kent them once, just stories. The virus infects our dreams, reduces them. If it's not through a screen, how is it real? So that's number 19, Dream. And the last poem I'm going to read is Everything in the World is About Food. So I'll be going to channel Nigella for this, just to give a warning to people. And basically it's a nod to the Oscar Wilde quote. It was, everything in the world is about sex, except sex. Sex is about power. So here we go. Everything in the world is about food. Want to spoon you, cup you, hollow you out, sprinkle you with sugar, crystallize your mouth, blanket you with cheese, toast you till you melt, spread you and fold you, new risen in the warm, bake until firm, butter, flour and roll, poach and stir, coddle and juice, never ever reduce. Everything in the world is about food, except food. Food is about sex. So that's the last one. Hope you enjoyed that. If you want to read or hear any more of my poems, I've got a website and it's called sayonaraquickbrownfox.com. So all the best, enjoy the rest of the poetry, and have a great 2021. Sancha.
Subway. Steep steps lead deep into the hot guff of a claustrophobic world of stains and stickiness. Machines are gatekeepers in front of which only perfectly performed rituals permit access to the far side of the black-barred barricades. Ladies and gentlemen, the polite female voice calls commuters to attention in an endless loop of liquid language. Train doors slither apart. Bodies compete to leap aboard in time to claim the rare prize of a seat, or grab a fist-sized spot on a shiny metal tube still warm from another's touch. Humans of every shade, shape and size pile on, push and pulse, plugged into digital lives, their faces focused on phones, lengths of white cheese string wriggle between ears and devices clamped to palms, as reality, like a filmed backdrop, rolls around them. Girl in 50s shawl-necked dress, cute block-heeled, peach suede shoes, studiously mutters, glancing at shaking sheets cocooned in her nervous bubble. Singular civilities germinate and bloom, a chivalrous offer to sit, acknowledged by a catching of an eye, a shy smile. Identities assertively proclaimed via piercings and tattoos of infinite variety. An argument of lawyers hold court by the doors. Blue-suited their ties flash and shriek. Their briefs and speech proclaim their profession. Hip-hop performer bounds aboard, weaving welcome words in his beat. Cap in hand for contributions, his swirling, supple body infects the space with breathless agitation, a one-stop recreation. Carriages screech and rattle round invisible bends, delineated only by white slices of brightness striping past the glass. Above our heads, we study each stop, a twinkling gem of a necklace, blinking lights, our knuckles white, poised to alight. Tunnels exhale passengers upwards in a gush. Bite-sized conversations hang unanswered in the air. Monotonous monologues permeate passageways. Travellers transformed into unwitting participants in performances never meant for public contemplation.
Well, the first three poems were written when I was very homesick and working down in England, and I was desperate to come home again, as you can tell. Love is, to be apart is not to think apart. Miles may separate, but still we are the one being, the one and only for each other. No one else will do. Sacrifice is determinable, but soon happiness will return in peace and contentment. We live through others. Let us hope and believe others live through us. Endings. Autumn comes creeping in stealthily, delicately fingering the trees, no longer green but orange, signalling the end of the growing season. Time to gather strength after a stressful and strenuous summer. Time to review the situation and make amends. Happiness is going home for good. Peacefulness is being together always. Usefulness is being busy for a purpose. And gratefulness is surviving unscathed. Reflections. A foreign land, all strangers here. Time to go home for good, to start again afresh. It's vital to live and learn, a constant process, and it's vital to admit an error, a difficult process. Better times ahead, a new decade beckons. A more mature outlook will enhance living. And the last three poems are about time and how quite often we don't always appreciate how much time we have and what we're doing with it. Time watch. Time is a watch. Without a watch, is there time? People are always checking time in their watches to see how much time remains. It's not a sensible thing, perhaps. Who knows what time is left? The future is always uncertain. The past's gone. Now is of the essence. To do is now. How precious each minute, yet, until it is vanished, the worth is unrecognised. Now, walking teaches us to see, feel and smell. Cars whisk by us, devoid of senses, unreal almost. To touch, breathe a flower is real and beautiful. To clear one's mind and to establish what must be done is essential. But who does this often, if at all? Life is far too short not to love every second. It will never be again. Live now or not at all. And finally, bubbles. Eventful bubbles of life. Born out of a bubble. Suddenly the bubble bursts and a new life is born, bare and bawling. Eventful bubbles of life. Celebrate a marriage with bubbly. Suddenly the bubbles are burst and a partnership is annulled, alone and angry. Eventful bubbles of life. Consoled with bubbles of tears. Suddenly the bubble has burst forever and a life is past. Perfect and peaceful. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Simon Lamb and I'm going to read a pair of poems from my poetry pamphlet, Cathedral Sky. O my gentle raider, see the stones you've stolen in your shoes. Did you leave any on the path? Come, gouge them from your soul. Prize each painful pebble from the grooves and thumb their sharpest edges down. Heap them here, all of them. Ah, it seems you have a mountain too. Ascend this rocky road you've built and know each step is made on top of all that came before you. Felled trees and broken wings as well. Oh, how light you must feel after setting down a mountainside. Please, leave it here and journey on. Ignore its cracking crust. Pass by its bursting buds. Let go. The mountain is no longer yours. Concern yourself with now. Spread your arms beneath the sanguine sky and to the wild wind proclaim, I came. I came. And this one. The snow shards sprinkled down from the sky, drifting, sifting through the early evening air. Welly boots sploshed through the slushy scene, excited, eager, keen. Sledges sliced down slippy slopes, soundtracked by a symphony of childhood joy. Screams and laughter of terrific together times spun through the dimming day and the sinking sun, and all too soon the moments gone, reduced to wet feet and stinging digits and doors closing and hot chocolate and up the stairs and off to bed and soft as snow. Good night. Good night. Good night.
My name is Stewart Rose. I hope you enjoy this poem. It's entitled Tinned Food, the Healthy Option. A roll and bacon I desired when I got out of bed. I never dreamed my breakfast wish that I could end up dead. For outside our local supermarket, sat upon the grass, was man's best friend partaking of a licking of its arse. A customer then stroked the dog, whose name I heard was Molly, and then with slobbered hand did grab the handle of his trolley. These days of germs and viruses should make us stop and think, from you to me, then me to thee, before a man can blink. A little squirt of sanitizer was not a lot to ask, but he then proceeded through the door without a facial mask. He couldn't give a damn. He thought of nothing but himself, as he rummaged through without a care the bread rolls on the shelf. My thoughts of Roland Bacon now receded from within. The only thing I'll eat from here will come out of a tin. He's breathing over everything, this unhygienic brute. And now he's screwed my breakfast up. He's heading for the fruit. How many shopping here today, alas, be never known, will buy the things that man has touched and take his habits home? All of us can make mistakes, and it's easy to forget that you will pass to those you love this demon should you get. As for common courtesy, he didn't have a clue, for the rules do not apply to him. They're only there for you. Masks and gloves and hand gel are sold there for his use, but I think if you were to tell him that, you'd just receive abuse. I'd had enough of watching this, so headed for the door, I laughed my head off as he dropped his bread roll on the floor. More customers were queued outside, in waiting with their trolley. Some were passing time of day, some were stroking Molly.
Sadly, that's us for today, but the good news is we're back next week with more. Just a wee word before you go, Tidelines is a charity that's run entirely by volunteers and reliant on donations to help us continue, particularly now that we don't have access to ticket money from live events. We would be delighted, therefore, if you would consider donating via our Just Giving page, which with the links just down below. Every penny helps, thank you. And part 2 of our Winter Warmer will be available next week, same place, same time, and we'll look forward to seeing you then. Goodbye for now.